Does your wife ever say things to you like our wives say to us, you know, be careful when you go out in the car? Does she ever say before a fight, you be careful, don't get hurt or anything?
Strange, never.
Never occurs to
my mother neither. Don't worry
really?
a bit.
Do you ever, is it ever concern you that you could really get injured in that ring? Do you think about that at all?
No, let me tell you something. I guess it's because I know it. You couldn't pay me to be a jet plane pilot. You couldn't pay me to get...
You'll get in the ring with guys like George Foreman and you...
I was on a plane not long ago. Some kind of smoke alarm went off in it, and smoke started coming off, and stewardess running back and forth. And it's a scary feeling.
Oh.
You know,
what do you do in a case
you look down and you can't see nothing but houses, and if an engine pop or something blow up, you just see death. You know there ain't no way out of this.
Now, when that happened, did you pray?
That's a silly question.
No, it isn't. Because, man, I'd be well into some
prayers. I pray when it don't happen.
Really?
So I don't wait till it happens.
Yeah,
That's the fault,
get down, brother.
See, I pray before it take off. I said, let it take off, Allah. I use the term Allah. I don't say Jesus. I say Allah. See, the book says, he who calls on my name shall be saved. And black folks been calling Jesus for 400 years and still getting hung. See, but we who call on Allah don't get me. We free. We Muslims. We call on the right God. And I call on Allah. And I've been on planes that did everything. And I've had white passengers that come up and say, we're glad you on this plane.
Really?
Wise ones. The average man wouldn't know it, but wise ones. I said, why are you glad out? He said, you have too much to do. This fella told me a week ago. He said, you have too much to do, too much of your people. You represent too much, and I know you and I are going to go this way. And when I heard you in first class, I quit worrying about this plane. Some people, seriously, they get on a plane and see a bishop, a cardinal, or a priest, and they really feel better. They see 5 or 6 sisters, Catholic sisters. They really feel better to know that these people on the plane, they feel God is with them.
Yeah. I always, on the way in, if I can peek in there and get a look at the pilot, and if he recognizes me, I always want to know what kind of a night he had. I check on that. I want to make sure he wasn't out.
But to answer your question, like, we don't worry too much about getting hurt. You get hurt in cars. People die every day. Race cars, you know, they hit walls and burn up. And just, if you get yourself in condition and you know what you're doing, you're not too much. Like a plane pilot, he don't worry about it. He knows how much the plane will take, and I don't, so I'm more frightened than he is.
You're in the right mood for some Muhammad Ali poetry. Have you got something for us today?
A little something that says, riding on my horse of hope, holding in my hand the rein of courage, dressed in the armor of patience, the helmet of endurance on my head, I started on my journey to the land of love.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. We'll be right back. Here is that committee's chairman, Democratic Congressman from Ohio, Wayne L. Hayes. Welcome. Congressman, why do politicians have such low credibility today?
Well, I think it's partly because there's so many problems in the world, and people are so dissatisfied, and there's so many things they want they can't aspire to, and they turn to the government, and the government doesn't satisfy them, and so they figure that
and they give up.
They give up.
Would you ever get into politics, Muhammad?
No, sir, because see, when you people discuss things, they're not our problems. See, I'm looking at the black people as a nation, and all of our problems, you all don't have nothing to solve them. See, we need a spiritual, divine man, and I believe Elijah Muhammad is that man. We have prostitution problems in New York City mainly, and all I see is the black sisters being used by all type men, and ain't no politicians mentions it. We got dope problems, gang fighting among self, a lack of love for self, no respect for our women. We don't have no property. We don't have no land. We done worked 400 years to make this country the wealthiest country on the planet. None of you politicians talk about repaying us for the 400 years of slave labor. You're not the ones who slaved us, who lynched us or raped us, but your people stole the property and left it with you, and you still guilty because you keep it. All the TV stations, all the lectures, the Ramada Inns, the Holiday Inns, all the land, everything is yours. So ain't nothing in politics for us.
Yeah, but as a politician, couldn't you help the blacks?
No, because I got to have the white man's flag over me, and I got to represent all.
No, you don't. I'll change.
I disagree with that, Muhammad. You know, there are a lot of blacks in Congress, and they don't have the white man's flag.
I don't fuss at the brother on TV.
No, I know.
Let's don't be niggas and fools in front of white people.
I'm not gonna fuss.
Let me talk to them. I'm talking to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to everybody here.
Well, I'm talking to them now.
But take your hand on my face. I'm talking to everybody here.
Let me talk to them. They
talk.
asking me questions.
I understand it.
This is our problem.
I understand.
You understand? We got to get together.
We're not gonna.
And I don't think politics have a problem. I'm talking to brothers.
No, but I want to change the color of the flag. I'm serious about that.
I'm not. Okay.
You talk about the flag over your head.
If we gonna change the color of the flag, okay, that's a heck of a job.
Yeah. Well, it is a job.
See, now we're getting on stuff that don't make no sense. We're talking about something.
I guess it makes more sense
I
to
hope
Bessie
the people
Ross.
can look at this and see what I'm talking about. I hope the people can watch this show and see what I'm talking about.
Well, they will. They look at Mike
I'm sure
Douglas
the black
every day.
people understand.
Black people do understand, brother. And we're not gonna
What I was saying was this, is that I don't think I can be in no office in this government and don't represent the country, which represents all the people. I'm not saying it's bad to represent all the people. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to represent all the people one day. But
Yeah, but you do, man.
Yeah, but now wait a minute.
charity starts
First of
first
all,
at
to
home.
get into
Charity
office,
starts first at home. God helps those who help themselves. I got to help myself and clean up myself and love myself and do for myself before I can go to help others. I don't have time to help white people because there's enough white people to help white people. I don't have enough time to help no Jews. There's enough millionaire, billionaire Jews to help the Jews.
There's enough
My
black
brother-
people to help black people.
Right, so that's what we want to do. Now you're talking. So my program is only worrying about my people first. That's what I'm saying. And I can't be in no politics saying I'm just for the black people. It's not right.
Yeah, where do you live, though, brother? At home.
we'll be right back, right after this message. Be right back. Sometimes on a show like this, when we cut away for the commercial breaks, a lot of things you said that I'd like to hear repeated. I'd like you to repeat what you said about the Congresswoman from Texas.
Well, I wanted to say this to Muhammad before, and we got a little side argument going. One of the brightest minds in the United States Congress today is a freshman congresswoman from Texas, a black woman by the name of Barbara Jordan. I think she can get to the heart of the problem about as quick as anybody. We had a meeting just a few days ago with a group of British parliamentarians to talk about common problems, and I took her there. I asked her as a special favor to go to this meeting.
Yeah, but he's saying
And
there's so
she
many
was-
black people that have a lot to say.
Well, that's true, but there's a lot of white people that have a lot to
Right.
say in Congress, but
they've
there only
been
can be
saying it.
435
And
congressmen
they've
at
been
any
saying
given
it for
time.
400 years.
Well, the blacks now are getting elected, and let me say this, Barbara Jordan was elected from a constituency that doesn't have a majority of blacks.
Yeah, but
because-
what he's saying is that he doesn't care about being elected.
Well,
He
you
was
know,
elected black.
that's up to him to go to decide that. That's not for me to say, but I am saying
but
that
it
some
should be.
black people are making a contribution in that field.
But isn't it time that we all live together?
Well, I don't think we can live
Time for living, time for giving.
I don't think we can live segregated. I don't think you can segregate the Jews into one compartment, the blacks into another, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants into another, the Catholics into another. I think we're all here in this country, and we're going to have to live together and get along together. And your entertainment wouldn't go if nobody but blacks went to it, or paid, or got admissions. And your
I'll
fights,
stop right there.
your fights
I
wouldn't
wanna say
gross
one
what they
thing.
do if the whites didn't
I want to say
contribute.
one thing. If didn't a white man come to hear him, we got 40 million black people that love his music. He don't need no white audience. I just
Well,
want
there's
to say.
no 40
Yeah, but
million
no,
white
that's not
people
the
in this
point.
country. There's
Thank
I'm
only
just
11
saying,
million.
I can't let you stay on the TV
Thank you, brother.
and say that he wouldn't make it if it wasn't for the white people.
Well, I'm not saying he wouldn't make it, but I'm saying he wouldn't make it as big as he did.
Right, if them white people promoted it.
No.
I got one more thing to say too.
Okay, now
If
what
it wasn't for the black people.
what he's saying is that it does not make you big
something else.
because white people
Congressman.
come.
Congressman
another
didn't
thing.
say that. He said
I
it
know
wouldn't go
I'm
as
just
big,
saying
he
what
he
said.
said.
Nor would your fights,
And
is
your
what he
country
said.
wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us.
Well, they don't need that.
America wouldn't be nothing if it wasn't for my people slaving and working for 400 years and you white people fighting in all of your wars.
Yeah.
Then you talk about if
That's
I
right.
didn't, white people come to my fights, wouldn't have no money. We built the country.
That's right.
We fought in all the wars. We were lynched. We were captured. We were murdered. And
Some of us were in on that.
We
Wait a
want to give
second.
you a little
I
bit.
fought a
We want to
war.
give you some credit, Mohammed. But after all, you're 11 million out of 210 million, so you didn't do everything. The whites did something too. You know.
You did do
Everybody made a contribution.
something. You did do something. You killed off all the Indians, then you brought us over and robbed us of
Yeah, but
everything.
what Mike's trying to say is that
You did all
there's
that.
a way to say all of this without having any animosity.
Exactly.
That's right. I buy
Yeah,
that.
well, sweet, ain't no animosity. Ain't nobody hitting nobody.
But it should not sound like that.
Words are more powerful than fists.
That's why. That's why animosity. That's
I think
why.
it's a fairly simple, simplistic argument that we're having here. On the one hand, saying,
No.
why can't we all live together? Now we know that it's tough to live together, and we know that there are animosities, and we know that there's back dues and back pay and back things that are owed to people, and not just to blacks,
Yeah,
to
but it's
Indians
not
as well, and to
simplistic.
women as well, and to other minorities
It
as
is
well.
not simplistic.
Well, there's nothing simplistic.
It
The
is
man
simple.
and his wife don't live together in perfect harmony all the time.
I'll tell you one thing.
know,
You take a
sometimes
house,
they
you
have
take
problems.
you take a house, you take a country, you kill off all the Indians, you kill off the blacks, and you get everything is yours. Now you say, let's live together without giving up nothing or repaying. Now you want peace. You got everything now. You done conquered the world. Now you want to be peaceful. Well, people ain't resting. They don't want no peace.
Yeah, but if somebody said, I only care for whites, we would label him by very ugly epithets. And if I said, I only care for Jews and nothing else, I would be labeled as an exclusionary,
I only care for the
elitist or
freedom.
something.
I only care for the freedom and the unity of my people. Everybody else has got it.
Not really.
No, not true.
Not everybody
true.
else.
I don't buy that.
Well, I tell you what, I bet you the Viet Cong, who we black people, not me, I wasn't fool enough to go, who those who helped fight, I bet you the Viet Cong is more citizens and can come here and put on a little suit and get more freedom and move in neighborhoods and put up business where Negroes can't.
I believe that.
No, that's not
No, I
right.
believe that. I believe that.
They're under a
And
dictatorship
the
just like the
Chinese
Russians.
can, the
No, he means
Japanese
here.
can, the Germans can. Everybody that's not American can go and do what Negroes can do. So quit being hypocrites on this TV. The whole world know Negroes the lowest,
Black
the
people.
most down, the most disrespected, and the less protected than anybody.
Yeah.
They ain't got nothing.
Well, what
Don't
about
have
the
no
white
home.
man who can't pay his rent?
Well,
There's
it's
a
his
lot
fault.
of them.
It's his damn country.
Huh?
He should get out there
You
and do
know.
something. That's his fault.
Yeah.
It's his damn country.
Not all the poor are black, and not
I
all
know
the
you
poor
got
are
some
white.
poor white. Well, then I'm working for my black brothers. You look out for your white brothers.
That's what I was saying earlier.
I ain't say hate nobody.
Wait
I
a
don't want to
minute.
hate nobody.
Congressman, what
Let's
is
help each other. Help yourself first.
what is the answer?
Well, I think the answer, if there is an answer,
People want the truth. All this laughing and giggling. Now you're talking about.
Well, you laughing and
Use
giggling
this
too.
TV time to tell us.
You laughing and giggling just like everybody
But
else.
you see, the laughing and giggling
Let's tell
that is
the truth.
not phony. The laughing,
Is it
I have a
emotional?
function here. My function is to entertain
Yeah,
and
I'm
make
not
as
getting on
many
you.
people
I'm
out
not-
there
that's
happy
your job.
as I possibly
That's your job.
can. And man, I do it every day.
That's your job.
That's right.
It's your job.
So don't say it's phony because it's not phony.
It's
I don't have
when
a
you
phony
expect me to
bone in
come
this
on.
body.
When
man.
you want to know why I'm not coming on giggling my teeth.
I didn't
why you
say
so
that. I
funny?
said you look troubled. I didn't say, why aren't
I'm
you
always
giggling and
troubled.
laughing?
I'm always troubled.
Well, no, not
I'm
always, because
troubled. You're in a world full of hypocrites. If I wasn't who I was, I'd be somewhere in a restaurant. So I ain't got no time to be looking like I'm so happy.
Yeah, but he
My
said.
brothers are catching hell and catching hell and catching hell. Daily.
Yeah, that's right.
And all you all hypocrites saying, oh, you a hypocrite yourself.
well,
what's the answer,
the
Congressman?
answer is that, you know, it's easy to sit back and call everybody else in the world a hypocrite. I'm not going to call
I'm not
anybody
calling
a
everybody
hypocrite.
a hypocrite.
I think
Any
everybody
white
has a right to
person,
their own
any
opinion.
white person in this artist, they say, when I tell the truth, my people ain't nothing but a hypocrite.
I don't hate black people.
I'm gonna say hate.
And I don't see, well, I
Did I
don't
say you
dislike
hate?
them. And
I didn't say you
and I
dislike.
don't see why you should
Well,
dislike
then you
whites.
get with the government and tell them to get together and unite and do something.
But Mohammed,
You tell them to get together, you take your face and your complexion to the White House and repay the black people for all the work they done, all the slaving and
Get down,
Give
brother.
them some land and home land. The
last
don't hate
reason-
nobody, then do something and repay.
Well,
We ain't got nothing.
maybe we ought to start back in Africa with the tribal chiefs who sold the slaves
They
into
didn't say
slavery
you
in
to
the
lynch
first
us.
place.
That don't mean you should
You know, you
castrate
can't
us.
go back and
That don't mean you
rectify
should burn
400
us.
years of history.
They didn't say
You
you to
just
lynch
can't
us.
do it.
They didn't sell you to lynch us.
Let's be happy.
They
Let's be
didn't sell
happy.
us to you to burn us.
Time for living.
We'll be right back.